Well, welcome back to Tomb Raider anniversary. So, on correction, Tomb Raider anniversary. And here is one of the, you could say, one of the more famous levels of Tomb Raider in general, the Lost Valley, which is to say that stage which made it so that, yep, it's not just that, you could say, regular action flair with running around, causing damage, shooting stuff, and all that. This one, well, it's a bit, it's a spoiler, maybe, but this one has a dinosaurs in it, and not just dinosaurs, a tyrannosaurus. So yeah, it was a quite big shock at the original one to stumble right into tyrannosaur when you're playing at it, but the basic puzzle of Lost Valley is this little bit of a code-based puzzle, which is all about, which means that yeah, which is how you're gonna get forward in it. But let's just instead before climbing at it, do some swan dive, and there would be a big waterfall. But as it's a big and powerful waterfall, Laura can't just swim through it. So that would be the puzzle of this stage. Getting the waterfall down, and once you actually look about it, there's this big bridge that means that yeah, that's the way how you're gonna get the waterfall to go down. So basically all the necessary bits and pieces of the stage and its puzzle are already shown. It now becomes a completely different thing to basically get through it. But it's a matter of climbing all over locations. And I would guess that judging by how Laura's outfit doesn't have any stickiness, it might be some sort of artificial fiber, maybe. I would say that her outfit is not particularly good for any kind of truly vigorous tasks to do, but just some regular climbings over the area with places, and there's even a bit of environmental puzzle things that yep, you're gonna shoot it. So, but just doing a bit of the gymnast pole vault flip, and another little mobility puzzle, this time in form of the Tarzan swing. Yep, all you could say basic maneuvers from the old-fashioned action-adventure genre, which I would guess that she is kind of a, well, it's quite old and famous genre of big fast action. So there was another piece of cold machinery and some extra bats as well. Nothing truly, you could say, unusual, and a big swing through the building to get back. Oh, and there's a little secret over there, but I wonder how do I get there. In the original one, it was a kind of a tricky, cunning little move that you would have to make to maneuver yourself to get to that. But even it, oh. Oh, now I figure it out. Yeah, this is a ladder. Works just like a ladder. So just vault yourself out from here, and Laura can also crouch walk. It wasn't a maneuver she could do originally, but Oh yeah, a hidden shotgun, but the game would also give you shotgun if you don't would not do this little movement puzzle. So beautiful swan dive to this flashing, streaming, watery thing, and bomb dive straight through the thing. So yeah. Ouch. Now I really am not that keen about enemies appearing so much with surprise. Although you could say it's something like a bit of dictated by the oops, and some more extra big swings, and I'm just gonna go with a big machine swingery, letting me carry and do this death-defying swing. Oh, not like that, that's not the way to work. So let's just put another piece of the cog machinery over there. Yeah, that would lead me upwards, but that would be kind of pointless place to go. So let's just start going here. As much as gameplay goes, even the original one was very strong. That was a bit of glitchery. Was very strong game of with its presentation and general sense of action. As in that the greatest perils were not in form of combat, although combat did have challenges, but the biggest challenge were much more in line of what's the word? Environmental puzzles, as in figuring out where to go, how to go, and how not to get killed while be there. That was a death-defying swing grab to the battered wall. And of course it could have been possible just to actually not exactly right away possible and drop this and more swing, but it doesn't look like I could grab it from here. Kind of feels pointless little obstacle, especially knowing that it's a chance to do a big swan dive straight to the water below, and following video game logics, water is always soft landing. No matter, well, usually something that if it's damn it, bear. So let's just take the pistols. The tried and true and usual functional method is to just, when there's enemies, try to get into the higher position wherever you are, and that way you can just not like that. Oh, not like that either. That I'm trying to get into a secret location. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Grab that, swing there. There was no way. But still, a little bit of secrets. Some secrets contain these artifacts and some contain relics. Relics are, you could say, the more big and fancy secrets. Although they are not... They don't deliver anything mandatory for gameplay. So, just trying to do big jump swings. And... Oh yeah, that was wrong direction. I will say not wrong direction, wrong method. Yep. Yep. And landing on these poles tends to throw the balance off quite often, so it is quite much wise choice to not be too keen about up and yep. Some nice little drops and just jumping here. And I might guess that when you look at a longer tradition of storytelling, is that Lara Croft owes quite a lot to all kinds of, you could say, pulp adventure heroes, although she is gender inverted, in sense that she's got all kinds of travels all kinds of, you could say, exotic locations. Where there's all kinds of enemies, violent native tribes to face, and all kinds of, you could say, more villainous people of the same area of expertise than she is. They are all kind of old-fashioned, or better say not old-fashioned, they're quite old-setting things, as I recall right, Tarzan stories. They tend to have lots of these kind of things that, yeah, well, that was era when they were written, that, yeah, the Tarzan, the mighty white guy, accidentally abandoned by his parents, King of the Apes, and the natives are just really stupid and weak, that, yeah, we need help from Tarzan. But it was also quite interesting to notice that Tarzan was always shown to be not condescending, but always treating them with respect and kindness, which is kind of, you could say, very fair way of handling the matter. You could say quite delicate matter even then today. So, but the Lost Valley, and it's got dinosaurs in it. Okay, they got big tail swipes. Yeah, so just shoot them. But so far it looks like a quite nice little mountain area. Gotta focus on fighting them. Yeah, bullets to the head. That's a quite potent ability. Oh, but something's up. Oh, that's bad. That's bad omen. Tribute to Jurassic Park. With quick time events. And they are always the same, corresponding to Lara's basic maneuvers like jumping, shooting, dodging. So, instead of just being a big, huge enemy, you could say Tyrannosaur is actually a complete a real boss fight. And the trick is to anger it so that it runs into the big spikes. Yeah, well that bump didn't work out so badly. And the trick would be more or less in the style of try to get, yep, there's a need to do the proper timing as well. Okay, yep, you're angry, good. Yeah, hit it to the head so that it can run to the big spikes. But in general sense, just shooting it won't work. It has to be done with the make it run towards the spiky wall. Ah, damn it! Gotta focus. Yeah, now it ran the third time. And it doesn't really look, so you could say, completely realistic Tyrannosaurus, even by the standards of the time, because of the... Oh, now it ran 3 times to the spike walls. And a quick time event to finish it off. Oh. She might have just destroyed an completely endangered species. Well, or you could say more like no longer endangered. Now it's extinct species. But then again, it was trying to make her into lunch. So, yeah. It broke down a wall, and there would be another third cog around here, which is a great thing. So just dive to the pool. But there was a little bit of problem of the path out being quite much wrecked by, well, by the less than, you could say, construction-friendly fauna. And why this valley would have a dinosaurs, including a big-ass Tyrannosaurus in it, well, doesn't matter. It's a big, nice action set piece. So, of course, we're gonna put a big dinosaur to the game. There's no need to explain why it is there. Well, beyond, well, it's really awesome. Can I do, does this, nah, let's not bother. Up, and yep. So, but it is not mine own statement about video games being quite much about being able to move and move in things and do things that you would normally not do in physical sense, like fly, or well, at least in Tomb Raider games, it really is so. You can climb all these deadly walls without deadly walls, or whether say these very, you could say, bad-shaped walls across spike-filled pits, and fight against face dinosaurs in battle, and generally just be a really big around, well, explorer and stuff. Oh, that was not the way to do it. But thanks to quite liberally applied checkpoints, I did not get far. Yeah. Instead of being eaten by becoming dinosaur chow, Laura just made a dumb mistake and flung herself off the cliff and splattered herself to pieces. But this was made by Eidos, who originally did Tomb Raider games. If I recall right, yeah. If I recall right, it was first Eidos which made the game, and it was published by Core Design, and which was a quite, you could say, quite big and prominent publisher and maker of the games, no longer existing, but that does happen. And well, later Eidos would sell, or would have to buy, or was bought by Squaresoft, which would then by 2013 make the new series, or you could say the new series / timeline of Tomb Raider games, with less noticeable tracts of land on protagonist and more emphasis on action and archery. Yeah, there was bow would be Laura's most prominent weapon. Not pistols, and not large tracts of land. She most likely possesses very clearly. But those games would also, I would say, have very brutal deaths. As in, Tomb Raider games already have that smacking to the ground is not particularly nice, but that game would make it. Those games they make death scenes real brutal and painful. But their emphasis is much more in action instead of this kind of instead of, you could say, exploration, which in my books it does makes them, well, not saying that they are bad games, because they are not, at least those which I played, but the fact that they basically the distinct identity of having exploration and some mostly peril being caused by a dangerous environment instead of violent enemy encounters is kind of, it's, you could say, it's a lost little distinctiveness, and I think that's a kind of bad. But and also the fact that those games, there's at least 3 of them, have not included this game, the original story of searching the Atlantic Scion, or Scion, I don't know the proper, you could say, expression for it, is kind of, you could say, bit of shame. I wonder. Oh yeah, I'm quite certain that the proper direction is this way. I have to slide down that ramp to get proper directions. So yeah, it's quite prominently located. Ouch, that hurt. But did I get to the proper location? I think I did. I did not. I did some wandering and searching around, and I think I did get to the right location of leaving Lost Valley. So, or at least this the most prominent location of the Lost Valley. where there was the dinosaur. Oh damn! I did not. I just made a big mistake of getting back to the first position of the place. But I hope I might be able to do it a bit more neatly this time, maybe. Big rock, jump on there. And of course, this PlayStation 2 era of Lara Croft Adventures, she does not have that, you could say, the PlayStation 1 era, something like a 2 meter standing vertical jump as a, you could say, method of traversal, which was, well, those games followed very much a block-based design, which in a sense is not bad, especially when it was presented with such, you could say, good good design. All right, so that's how it is. Alright, let's jump here as well. Oh yeah, now I know. I have to jump here and get a big swings over there. So I can now get up here. And this way get a way out from the Lost Valley. And as you could say, an extra little bit of niceness. There's a chance to do a little bit of you could call it oh, not like that. Ah. All right, just some. Okay. I do admit that these stages have a bit tricky tricky navigation occasionally. Oh yeah, just turn around the page so you can just jump from there. So, and then another little... Basically, I don't think this Tomb Raider games have much of, you could say, past that, or just one way, that points of no return. They aren't that common in Tomb Raider games, and they usually are quite visually prominent, as in the sense that big jumps to water below, or that kind of thing, that kind of turns and twists, which make it very clear that yep, you're entering area that which is, well, generally above the basic level of wherever you are going. So and which of course means that yep, make sure that you've gathered all the loot or anything like that, because else this stage is gonna be finished, or you're gonna be at this end phase of the stage, and that is kind of, I would say, that's nice way of nice design. But I have one more third cog gained. And oh, not like this. Yeah, that's painful landing. And they also make the ragdolling. Yeah. I don't know what the death counter gonna be because, well, when I'm talking, I am not that well concentrating on what's going on in the game. But beautiful dive, perfect landing and all that. And there's even a underwater cave here, so let's just dive in and explore it. And unlike the more modern Tomb Raider games, there ain't vicious there. Well, even there isn't that much, you could say, vicious piranhas and horrifying deaths via method of earthquakes and rocky crevices coming up and tearing her, crushing her into very very, you could say, claustrophobic sequences. Well, nope. Plenty of horrifying ways to get killed, but not in that kind of, you could say, truly almost horror film worthy, unpleasant ways. Jump, but no, not doing swing over there. Just doing the big swing over here. Yeah, and that was already placed, so it's time to make a jump over there. And jump here. Now that yeah, that's a kind of janky little moment. And third cog placed. So let's just pull this one as well. In the original one they were much more, you could say, prominent in close location with each other. So, but that now I will opening up the pathway, and well, there's plenty of you could say differences in gameplay and general design compared to the original one, which is both good thing and bad thing. Good thing in that gameplay is modernized, game does provide, is more interesting to those who have played it before. So, but let's just go and check the river or the stream, most likely extremely cold thanks to rapid flowing water and rapid flow and also because of the elevation and climate. Yep, this might look slightly tropical, but most likely is very not, or most likely is not such thing. But of course, the meaning of course the Atlantic scion is, well, it's a kind of it's kind of vague how it is made. It's some kind of big fancy artifact that she is searching for, and that's more or less all there is about it. Alright, there's a switch or something which opens, and yep, that's a switch which opens that, but I really can't remember how I opened it. Was it a different location which did that, or, well, let's do some exploration first still anyway. Check through the place again, just because, well, I rather give a quite thorough playthrough instead of just dashing through the stages, because, well, because of professionality, maybe, if that is lacking the better word. if that even is a word or concept which can be applied, or actually it's a word, but I don't know about it being an applicable concept regarding my playthrough videos is just completely different story. Well, oh yeah, there's oh yeah, there's this extra little spinny bar that I can just do the big swings around here and climb very, you could say, visually appealing location, in sense that, yep, it's a big waterfall and all that. So yeah, here is the switch which opens that door, that path. And of course, because it was this kind of really more of the big path, it's more prominent location as well. So let's just dive in. You could not get in here until you have lowered the dam water path, but it's another relic. And it's real nice that these relics are still made to be properly real locations, proper locations. But I would wonder, oh yeah, Andes, they would most likely be eating, well, I'm not an expert on Inca cuisine, but I would guess that potatoes and guinea pigs, aka kuin, that's the name of the dish, would have been quite prominent part of the deal. Well, luckily the landing was not lethal. So, but the path was opened getting through it. And that would end this episode of Lost Valley. I'll be seeing you next time. See ya.